Howdy, howdy, howdy. Yes, sir. It's another one. It's another day. It is another sunshine. Hope everyone out there is highly favored. Hope you're healthy. Hope that health is translating into wealth. Hope everybody out there doing wonderful. Understand we're not perfect, but that don't mean we gotta stop giving our all and doing our best in order to achieve the things that we want to achieve. For sure, right? Y'all right? Y'all all right? Anyways, man, I ain't gonna stall too much, man. Y'all go ahead and give us a thumbs up. If you caught that video yesterday, oh yeah, also subscribe as well. Go ahead. If you're getting value from the channel, please subscribe, man. Please. Anyways, so yesterday, video on yesterday, I titled it Fear. What does fear have to do with wisdom? Or fear, how is fear related to wisdom? And I want to go ahead and do a part 2 to this because, you know, I want to go more in depth and give more clarity on why I gave my opinion the way that I did. And again, disclosure, I am not a doctor. I am not a guru. I am not I don't got my master's degree. None of that. This is just my opinion, a different perspective on things that's helping you get to that's helping you in your pursuit to your end result. Let me say it like that, you know. So, wisdom, part 2. That's where we at today. Down here in South Florida, that's what we picking up. So, part 2, just to get onto clarity. Now, what I mentioned yesterday, going in about wisdom, was that how fear is correlated to wisdom. And this is another thing that I want to say on this topic of fear, because, you know, we don't want to tie success into fear. You know, a lot of people say, oh, you got to overcome your fears. This is one thing I want to say about fear. It's just like all fat. Fear is just like fat, right? All fat isn't bad fat. You do have good fats. You get what I'm saying? Like, you do have avocado, for example, is a good, nutritious fatty fat food, right? So fear is the same way. Now now you can fear something so bad where it disrupts your life, right? That's where phobias come into play, and different things of that, right? And just fear of you know, people have social fears and all of these different things, right? So there are good fears. So the example I gave yesterday was the stovetop example of wisdom. Is once you learn to understand that, okay, the stovetop is hot. I touched it and I found out that it was hot after it was told to me that it was hot, right? So once you touch it, you gain the knowledge of it. And I explained yesterday, when you gain the wisdom of it is when you realize that the stovetop was hot, and when you realize the stovetop was hot and you didn't touch it. That's a good form of fear or wisdom. Why? Because that prevented you from getting burned. All right? So in that, let's understand that fear, right, itself is not going to prevent you from getting hurt or anything like that. Let me not give you that illusion, right? Let me not give you that illusion, right? So another example, right? I have a fear of not being able to pass down generational wealth. So in this, I've come up with multiple streams of income. Free value, paid value. All right? Marketing systems. Scaling. These are the things that I'm doing and things that I'm learning to add to the portfolio. Investing. Right? So, but that stems from a fear of having a fear of me not accomplishing passing generational wealth down. So I'm doing everything I have to in order to get that end result. Bad fear. If a bad fear would be an example, or this is how I was. Wow, this is so transparent right now. So I'm not gonna make this part 2 super long. So this is how I was, right? The old me, the old L. The fear that held me back from pursuing things the way that I could pursue was the fear, right? The fear of not being liked. The fear of being hated. The fear of being talked about. The fear of what people thought about me. You see where I'm going with this? So that fear put me in a corner because I didn't want to put out the YouTube videos because I'm thinking, oh, it gotta be this whole glamorous. I gotta have a backdrop. I gotta bop, 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 bop. And to the point I said, I don't care if I'm driving in my car, walking down the street. Put out the video, baby. You get what I'm saying? So having this particular fear in these certain areas put me in a corner. And you see how I named them off. I named you one fear that produced a lifetime of wisdom. And that fear was not being able to leave generational wealth for my family members and my children, right? So the opposite of that, the fear that backed me up in the corner, my old version of myself, right? Fear of not being liked, fear of being hated, fear of what people gonna say about you, the fear of being successful if you do get the money and not knowing what to do with the money when you do get the money. These are real legitimate fears that people are having, myself included. So what was the one fear? I'm just stick with this word fear because I want y'all to get comfortable with this word fear because it's nothing to be afraid of, right? So fear, so what was the one fear that outweighed all my fears in a positive transformation? It was the fear of not being able to leave generational wealth. It's different for everybody. Again, this is my opinion. I'm not your guru. I don't have masters and I'm not your doctor. Okay? But I am a person that wants to give you a different perspective. Understand that. So, what was the one fear that outweighed all of those fears I rambled off the second time? Was the fear of not being able to leave generational wealth for my family and my children. That fear outweighs the fear of not being liked, the fear of being hated, the fear of being successful, the fear of being a failure. It cancels out all the fears because it puts me in a place, it puts me in a place of being wise. It puts me in a place of having wisdom. How, L? How, you ask? Because now instead of thinking about the fear of what's going to hold you back, you're thinking about the fear of what's going to push you into your greatness, into your transformation, into your success, into your end result. Listen the way I said that. You are now producing a fear that's going to get you where you need to be. It's going to get you to your end result. Famous saying, get rich or die trying. Understand this. Understand this. I don't care how tough they are, how big, how swole, tough looking, whatever character or persona they want to put on themselves. Don't nobody want to die. not before their time. Nobody. So the terminology of the saying, I should say, of get rich or die trying, saying that I am going to die one day and I am scared to death to die. And I have a fear of dying. And not only that, I have a fear of not doing something with my life before death. It ain't about the money, people. It's not about the money. Money is energy. We all know this. If you don't know this, I advise you type it in YouTube or Google. Money is energy, and watch all the links you get. Right? So it's about doing something worth it before you go. Some people worth it have just been watching on Netflix before they out of here. That's okay. That is successful to some people. But getting money is usually the measure of success in the capitalistic world or the capitalistic system that we're in, right? So with this, we gotta understand this. We got to understand this. That fear is just like our fat. You got bad fat, you got good fat. Figure out what your good fear is so that fear can produce that wisdom. So that fear can produce that wisdom. And then not only that, now you can translate that wisdom to somebody else. And they can be wise. And that's how wisdom is reciprocated. So just remember, man. Just remember, we ain't going too long. I'm already at 12. So just remember, man, those key notes. I hope I clarified that for you all on how fear is related to wisdom. And I hope this perspective gave you more clarity in your mindset and how to think when it comes to, you know, those fears or those, you know, that monkey chatter in your head, that extra chatter that's telling you this and telling you that, right? So I hope this was able to help you all out. Remember, health equals wealth. I love you. Peace. I'll see y'all in the next video.